I'm going to talk to you guys about the cost of living in Ghana, and I'm going to break it into three different parts. So we're going to have the high class living in Ghana, living with workers like drivers and all that. Secondly, is this middle class way of living in Ghana. And third is going to be living like an average Ghanaian who is trying to make it, so a little below middle class. So the first thing we're going to talk about is high class living in Ghana. So number one is your car insurance. Since we buy cars in cash here, right? People buy their cars in cash outright. So you're not obligated to buy, comprehensive insurance that covers everything. You are not obligated to do it. But if you were to do it, I spend $4,000 a year on my Land Cruiser, and if you divide that by 12, it will give you $333 a month. But if you choose not to do that and just go for a third party, it's only $50 for the entire year. So that's something you might want to consider. If you want to pay the comprehensive, which is what you used to, and everything is covered, because you just never know. Just like in the States, since we finance our cars, we are obligated to choose the comprehensive. But here, you are not obligated since you own the car outright. You can choose to pay the third party, but it will behoove you to go for a comprehensive because you just never know. So you can expect to spend $333 a month on a car like Land Cruiser, and that's like a $75,000, $80,000 car. So if you buy something cheaper, you could do the math. But this is the high level living, so you don't necessarily have to do that. But this is a high level living. If you're trying to go for a BMW, SUV, or like Mercedes SUVs or something like that, you're going to be spending about this amount. So just to have a fair idea. And the best insurance company in Ghana, the one that I had no issues using at all, is known as Enterprise. Enterprise, the leading insurance company in Ghana. I had one issue with my car. I called them, was no problem at all. Everything went through easily, just like it is in the States. So that's something you might want to consider, Enterprise. The second thing we're going to touch on is groceries, right? So a family of two, like you and your wife, you can expect to spend about $400, on groceries if you're shopping for my Cramo and all that stuff on groceries. And also, you gotta buy your foods and stuff from the locals. That's what I do. So if you want to buy everything from the mall, it could be higher, but 400 for food. Then we have entertainment, which is really not mandatory at all. It's really up to you. And let's allow $400 for entertainment. You could have a pretty good time in Ghana with $400 a month in entertainment. You can really enjoy yourself. This is high level. It doesn't mean you cannot spend more. You can definitely spend way more if you want to, but that's up to you. But this is a reasonable spending for living a very quality, lifestyle over here. So 400 for entertainment. Rent. If you're renting, you could expect to spend a lot of money in rent. If you're trying to live in a house like how I'm living right now, or live in an apartment in somewhere in East Legon and all these fancy places, you could be expecting to be paying about $2,000 to $5,000 a month. Yes, I don't have to worry about that. So I have zero for the rent, and that helps a lot. If you build your house and you come, you can get rid of this. But if you don't have a house and you're trying to live like a high class lifestyle, you can expect to, spend a lot on rent. Internet, I spend about $40 on my internet, and that is 400 Ghana cedis. So I'm using 10 for exchange rate. I'm using 10 for exchange rate for all of it. So it could be lower if you're using 12, but I just wanted to make the math simple. So I'm using 10 for exchange rate. I buy something known as the MTN bundle, right? It gives you 214 gigabytes when you buy it. It's in the app, and that lasts me for a whole month, sometimes even a month and a half, right? Unless I'm uploading and downloading a lot of videos, then it could be less. I'm watching a lot of Netflix because it can add up. If you're in a city, because I'm not, right? I'm in the suburbs, so I don't get broadband here, but I know people who get broadband, they expect to spend about $80 a month for that, and you can have pretty much like close to unlimited. But $40 for me, because that's what I'm used to. MTN. I think Vodafone also has something similar. Phone. I buy the same bundle for my phone, 214 gigabytes, and that usually lasts me for about 4 months. So when you do the math, you can just put 12 for that, both that and airtime to get ready to call. It's not that much. So $12 a month for your phone. Water is not expensive at all. My water bill is about $10, and it all depends in the area. So some areas are more expensive, but I'm using 10 because that's what I'm used to. Electricity, you could expect to spend about $100 to $200 a month on electricity. I spend less because I have solar, but not everybody has solar, so I'm helping you guys out. So no solar, you could expect to spend between $100 to $200 a month in electricity. Gas for cooking. Here we buy something known as a cylinder where they have the gas inside, and you have to like fill it up. Mine lasts for a pretty long time, like 6 months sometimes, or 4 months sometimes. It's pretty much nothing. So let's allow $7 for that monthly. Petrol, diesel, whatever you are using, you can expect to be spending about 150 to 250 a month on that, depending on the car you're driving and how often you go out. Workers, right? So if you're living a high level kind of lifestyle, you definitely need workers. So in Ghana, most people have workers. So I personally have a cleaner. My cleaner charges me $70 a month. I have a driver who charges me $100 a month. I have a gardener who charges me $40 a month, and a dog friend. He used to be the dog trainer, but now he's literally a friend. He comes around and just play with them, check on them, make sure they are okay, and he gets $12 a month. He comes here like twice a month or once a month, something like that. And the grand total of that would be, I'm gonna subtract the rent. Okay, it's gonna be $1,779. Right? That's high living. That's if you own your house. So if you do not own your house, you can add whatever you think the rent might be. It could be $2,000 to $5,000 or $1,500. I don't know what kind of your lifestyle where you want to live at. If you want to live in an apartment, so you can play with it. So I'm not going to add the rent to it. So the rent, I took the rent out. You can look online. I think Mikasa is like the leading platform for searching for apartments. So you can easily go there, check it out, see how much you can expect to spend on that, and then you can just add it to what I just gave you, which is $1,779. Middle class living, they're gonna have exactly the same thing, which is car insurance and all that, but it's gonna be lower because your car is not gonna be as expensive. So let's jump into it. Car insurance is $50 for if you're trying to go for the third party, which most middle class in Ghana go for $50 for the whole year because they own a car outright. But if you don't want to do that, and you want to pay monthly, you can expect to spend between $50 to $125 a month based on how expensive the car is. Food, for a family or two, you can expect to spend about $200 on food in the middle class range, because you're going to be buying most of your food not from the mall, because food in the mall gets expensive. You're not going to be buying imported stuff, so you could easily survive on $200 a month. Entertainment, you're not going to be spending as much as the person in the high class. So let's say you're going to be spending around $150 to $200 a month on entertainment. Rent, let's assume that you don't have a place. So if you're trying to live like modestly, you can get a place for $200 to $800 a month, and that might not be in the city, but a place close by, like, Afienya area, a Buri area, even a Yarifa area, you can get a place for that price range, a decent place for a middle class person. Internet is going to be $40, just like the high class, it doesn't really change. And then your phone, $12, just like the high class, it doesn't really change. When I say internet, I mean like the router that you have in the house, your phone, the internet on your phone, and then a few minutes to make phone calls. It should be like about $12 for the phone, $40 for the internet. Water, you can expect to be paying anywhere around $5 to $12 a month. Electricity, you can expect to spend about $40 to $100 a month. If you're a person who likes using the AC, you could be looking at $100 range. If you don't use AC, I think you could get away with $40 a month. So that's the range. Gas, for gas, just like the high class, doesn't really matter. $7 a month, you'll be fine with gas. Petrol or diesel, I'm sure you're going to be economical as a middle class person. You can expect to spend about $90 to $180 a month based on how often you go out. And the total will be, you can literally, survive on $789 here on the lower end. Not too bad, because I was giving you guys a lot of ranges. Or you can expect to spend $1,669 a month as a middle class person. So it's a huge gap. So the choice is yours. And then if you do want to live like a local, Ghanaian who's just acting like you're just trying to make it, so you're living under the middle class, this should be what you expect. You're not going to have a car, so you don't have to worry about insurance. Food, you can expect to spend about $100 to $200 per month. Entertainment, you can expect to spend about $80 to $200 a month. Rent, you can expect to spend about $150 to $300 a month. Internet and your phone bill is really important. So it's the same across board. $40 for the router, and then $12 for your phone. Water, $3 to $6 a month for your water if you're living in below the middle class level. Electricity, you're definitely not going to be using AC. So let's talk about $15 to $25 a month. Because let's say you live in a one-bedroom apartment with your significant other, you don't use AC, you live in a one-bedroom apartment with your partner, $15 to $25 will do it. Gas is $7, the same thing, because it doesn't matter what level you are, you are in. We all eat, right? So we're all gonna cook and use the same gas. So $7 per month. And since you don't have a car, you do not pay insurance, you don't have petrol or diesel to worry about, what you're gonna be spending your money on is structural and Uber sometimes. And that will cost you about $60 to $100 a month, depending on how often you go out. And the grand total of living like a regular Ghanaian who's trying to make it will range from $467 to $890. That is a huge gap yet again. So the choice is yours. You can make it work. All right, guys. So this concludes the video. This is, an estimate. The high class living. I really use my personal experience. You could spend way more. The sky is the limit for you if you have a lot of money. You want to blow $20,000, $10,000 a month. Trust me, Ghana, that is not hard to do. But this is the high class living. A reasonable person who is not all over, living good, have workers, go out often. That's how much you can expect to spend. But if you want to really live like a celebrity lifestyle and really go all in, trust me, $10,000 will not be enough for you. And this concludes the video. If you've not subscribed to the channel already, kindly do so. Like this video as it helps with the algorithm. Comment and let me know what you think. And until next time, my friends, be legendary. Peace.